Qualcomm makes smartphones faster. That's what everyone thinks. But follow the actual money and you'll find something else entirely. The surface story is clean. Qualcomm designs processors. They license designs to manufacturers. Those manufacturers build phones. Qualcomm collects royalties, end of story. And here's the trick, that's only about half the revenue stream. The real engine is something far more durable and far less visible: patents. Qualcomm holds over 140,000 patents. Most people think patents are just defensive shields. They're not. In the mobile industry, Qualcomm's patents cover the fundamental standards that every 4G and 5G phone must use. Not the chips themselves, the standards, the protocols, the frequencies. When Apple builds an iPhone, it doesn't just buy Qualcomm processors, it licenses essential patents. Samsung does the same, so does every other manufacturer on Earth. That's not a one-time transaction. That's a recurring tax on every single unit sold. Here's where the forensics get interesting. Qualcomm's licensing revenue, the patent royalties, often outpaces its chip design revenue in absolute dollars. In some years, licensing pulls in more than 40% of total operating profit. That's not incidental. That's structural. A company built on owning the intellectual property that everyone else is legally required to use. But here's the dismantling part. Qualcomm didn't invent 4G or 5G alone. These are standards created by thousands of engineers across competing companies and academia. Qualcomm simply held patents on key pieces of those standards, and because those standards became mandatory, because the entire industry adopted them, Qualcomm's patents became mandatory too. They didn't win through pure innovation. They won through standards participation and strategic patent filing. The real vulnerability isn't in chip design. Competitors can design processors. The vulnerability is in the patent portfolio itself. Qualcomm's moat isn't speed or efficiency. It's legal enforceability. If those patents are invalidated, or if new standards emerge that bypass their holdings, the licensing revenue evaporates. That's why Qualcomm spends enormous resources defending those patents in court and participating in standard-setting bodies before standards lock. So the real explanation for Qualcomm's enduring success isn't processor superiority. It's intellectual property control embedded in mandatory industry standards. They own the toll booth. Every phone manufacturer pays the toll because they have no choice. The standard requires it. That's not a product. That's a tax collection mechanism with legal teeth. Understanding this matters because it shows how modern business durability works. It's not about being the best. It's about controlling the infrastructure everyone else is forced to build on top of. Qualcomm's strategic genius wasn't in the lab. It was in the standards room, decades before the first 5G phone shipped. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to see how the world's most durable companies actually built their moats. It's rarely what the headlines say. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.